You ever seen that thing when content creators go like, what is up? And then they say it in that kind of really staggered, I don't know what it is. It's like the delivery's all wrong, but because they clap their hands and then point, it kind of seems cool. Oh, okay, so they're subverting like a traditional greeting. So I'm gonna try that today. Good day to you, one and all. It is it is I, Justin Hawkins, and this is Justin Hawkins Rides Again. I'm really excited because I'm going to be talking about Sam Fender today. And I don't know if you remember, like a while ago, I covered some of his stuff, and it was like a revelation to me. I wasn't expecting him to be amazing, and I really, really enjoyed it. And I've since been in touch with him. He reached out and was grateful for the article, or not the article, what would you call it? An episode that I did. And I like him, so this is fun for me. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to sing the theme tune and crack on with some Sam Fender-ness. All right. Justin Hawkins rides again. What is up, people? All right. Okay. All that kind of stuff. Fucking bullshit. All right. I don't even know who I'm aiming that at, really, but just, Bellendery in general, really. Okay, so Sam Fender, People Watching, the title track from his upcoming third album, his first since 2021, 17 Going Under. That's a brilliant song, which will be released on the 21st of February. Fuck, I can't even talk. I'm so tired. You know what? I've had a really busy December, but, it's nice to get home and sort of find mysterious fluids on your desk and then just feel compelled to lick them and see what... That's Ginger Shot. Okay. Anyway, I've mentioned Sam Fender a couple of times on this channel. The first was from an airport hotel where I reviewed 17 Going Under and highlighted his use of the ostinato. I remember that clearly. It's a great device if you want to get a proper poem across, because it makes something catchy when you're talking about stuff that's quite detailed and gives you an opportunity to put across like a wider idea than you would normally have the opportunity to do if you were just singing along with three chords. And although many journalists have repeatedly referred to Sam Fender as the Geordie Spruce String Bean, they don't say it like that because they're not as clever as me. They don't like to replace names with vegetation. That wasn't what I and many others took from the music I reviewed. Actually reminds me a bit of a cross between the Waterboys and the War on Drugs. Do you get that? Sam has been vocal in his admiration for the War on Drugs in the past, and earlier this year he announced that he'd been working on his new album with the band's Adam Granduciel. Posting on social media, he wrote, "We spent the spring in LA with legend Adam Granduciel from the War on Drugs, piecing together the new record. Some of the songs had been rattling around in my head for a while, so there was material I'd written in Newcastle and London already. Figuring out where to go after 17 took some working out, but I got there in the end. This one is the next phase of growing up." And speaking to guitar.com, Adam said of his experience of working with Fender, "I fell in love with him. He's a savant, which I wasn't really prepared for. I didn't realise how much of a musical savant he was." Hey, how can you listen to Sam Fender and not recognise his savantiness? That's crazy. I think savant, an idiot savant is somebody who conceals the true genius behind what they're doing by being foolish all the time and doing stupid stuff. I'm not sure if I can relate to that at all. Sam has explained that People Watching was inspired by the death of his close friend and mentor, Annie Orwin, and the walks he took to her care home, saying, "It's just a song about how much I love her, really, and how much I respected her. She was larger than life, so I felt she needed something that was soaring." Alrighty, so I'm going to listen to it. I'm going to read you some lyrics from it, in case you missed them. And, yeah. Well, there's a War on Drugs song that is that kind of tempo. I love that kind of stuff. Jangly guitars, pumping bass line, up-tempo number. You can really move your feet to it. Yeah, so it's F sharp, C sharp, B, but I think there's this... which if it was in G sharp minor, that would be like a 9 to root. But that's a really cool thing to stick in an A chord, or B chord rather. It's in A position on the 2nd fret. And what I like about that is it reminds me of in Houses of the Holy by Led Zeppelin. There's this chord where he's super economically just bars across from an A to include the 2nd fret of the 6th string. You always think it's sort of something really clever, but when it's Jimmy Page, it's always something super economical. But then he's doing this, which is, it provides a bit of suspense, because when it resolves, it goes back to the root of the first chord, which is F sharp. That's a lovely riff, it really is. And then there's a bit that goes. I love it already, it's super simple. But with that ostinato thing, poshing it up, it's nice. He loves an ostinato, doesn't he, our Sam Fender? Oh, he loves them. If I want on the way back home, and he throws away that come, because I think there's a temptation here. People watching the way back home. You know, you could do it like that, and then it sort of glides it, but it's important to throw away that last. People watching the way back home. It's nice. I like it. Well, I like it anyway. I'm sure you guys do as well. Envious of the glimmer of hope gives me a break. Okay, so. Then it goes to the B, C sharp, and then it's really cool. It's almost like Dire Straitsy actually. It's like it got a bit of a Sultans of Swing vibe to it. There's something emotionally resonant about that vocal style, isn't there? When you do this kind of like I used to feel so invincible. Like that, the fragility of the bow and the throwing it away is like you've lost that feeling, and it's good to use that technique when you're talking about things that affected you in the past, if you see what I mean, because it's kind of like, bow, used to feel so invincible, like the but when you get to the bull, you're not invincible anymore because it's so fragile and you're throwing it away. I used to feel there was a world worth dreaming of, back in the gasworks, screaming the song. That's a nice screaming the song. Just the beauty of youth would quell my. Oh, did you hear that? Just would quell my aching heart. There's something really discerning about the choices he's made at the end of each of these lines, you know. The way this works is a bit of chord movement and then a bit of emotive singing, stuff thrown away at the end, and carefully chosen endings to each line to really make the words land. And they do land. Back in the gasworks, screaming the song, just the beauty of youth would quell my aching heart. Oh, I feel so dark. I feel so dark. Remembering. He's doing a lot of these little sort of Sam Cooke lines at the end. He's choosing the descending ones because I think that's the flavour of the song, actually, isn't it? Oh, I can't stop running. I see the whole town fire. People watch on the way back home. People watch on the way back home. Ooh. People watching the way back home. People watching the way back home. And then, according to this lyric sheet that I've been provided here by my producer, there's going to be an ooh ooh moment. And I don't know if you remember the early days of this channel. I was talking about that as a sort of songwriting trope to create like a mnemonic device or a hook or something that you can, you know, pulls you into the song without needing to understand the full kind of overarching narrative of the lyric. It's just a sound that you utter in an emotive way. It's nice when he sings that over the B, because he's singing a C sharp over a B. reminds me of that Pearl Jam song, Oh, I'm Still Alive. That opening riff has got that technique where it's like open A-shaped chord with a ninth put in there to sort of add suspense, and it's a good trick. Not a parlour trick, it's a compositional device. I don't mean a trick, I'm not trying to fool us. It's just a nice thing to listen to, I suppose, because it makes your ear wonder what's going to happen next.
I came back home after 7 years, wide awake, tracing tracks of her tears, cornered the nurse to get the gist of it.
This is beautiful, isn't it? I came back home after 7 years, wide awake, tracing tracks of her tears, cornered the nurse to get the gist of it, promised her I'd get her out of the care home. I love it when songs do this, and like, you know, there's a really broad and simple way to talk about moments like this. You can say, oh, I miss you, and you know, it's a bit like, you know, some bands would used to write sort of political protest songs about very, very specific stuff that happened, like particular kind of uprisings or you know, historical events, and they would name the place and they'd talk about the, you know, the occasions. And then as their career sort of develops and they have a wider audience, and so as to avoid being seen to take sides, they end up saying things like bombs are bad, you know, and this one would just be like, oh, I miss that person, you know. But he's really going into the specifics of it, which gives it the kind of feel of a truly cathartic writing experience for Sam Fender.
And the beauty of youth, it left my breaking heart. But it wasn't hard to love someone.
It's really nice to hear him do that sort of breathy singing style, because I think if the band's playing like that, it's really difficult to project that kind of thing. But it's a beautiful production because you're getting all of that fragility with all of that pace and the cadence of an exciting song. It's excellent. It's really great. Oh, this is really beautiful. So he's talking about like a vigil, bedside vigil, and then when his friend passes away, he walks back and regards the world with the same eyes, but from a different perspective, if you know what I mean. And observes the same things. It's kind of like, is it like one of those songs where you're sort of talking about how life goes on, or it's a grief song of some sort? But even on the journey back from the care home, he's already kind of coming to terms with the fact that nothing's really changed. It's beautiful. It's really cool, isn't it? So it's kind of like a commentary on why we sort of, I suppose there's something reassuring about the fact that nothing really changes, you know, like at least you know you can rely on the fact that there's always going to be people in gyms, you know, or I don't know, shading themselves on sunny days. There'll be people sitting in the park, and there'll be people pissing around outside pubs. You know, there's always going to be that. There's certain things in life that you can rely on, even when something unexpected or heartbreaking happens. There's sort of touchstones in the rest of humanity that, regardless of how hurt and disappointed you might be, you can look at those things and go, oh, okay, so it's the same as it was before. This is a really interesting study of grief, I think. And what a fucking roaring chorus as well. And here's the bridge. Above the rain-soaked
Remembrance, Katie wakes, left your initials in the sky.
And this fucking amazing orchestral arrangement just pops up out of nowhere. I suspect the treadmill's an allegory for the rat race, or just trying to get through life, isn't it? And to see the whole town fall, I think he's talking about like urban decay and how even that's comforting in a time like that. really luxurious. It's got that sort of 17 going under excitement to it, but there's something really polished about the production on this one. And it hasn't lost anything of the emotional rawness that you'd expect a process like that to do. Sometimes, like when things are overproduced, it can really suck the life out of a song, but that's not what's happened here. This is absolutely great. I can see myself listening to this many, many times and roaring along to that chorus. Proper driving, emotional driving rock. I mean, those are quite difficult shoes to fill, aren't they, when someone's sort of constantly referring to you as like his region's equivalent of the great Bruce Springsteen. But fucking hell, if anyone can do it, he can. That's a really talented guy. I really love him. So well done, Sam Fender. Awesome stuff, mate. Hey, hit me up. You got my WhatsApp number, ain't you? Whatever. It doesn't matter. But I really like this, so well done. Justin Hawkins rides again. Doesn't matter about that. Yeah. All right, excellent stuff. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Watch one of these 2 videos and observe the 70s DJ the way I said that notifications. Sometimes I swap T's for D sounds because it just makes me much cooler. As if that's possible. All right, guys, I'll see you later. Nice one. Okay.